Okay, today we're talking about how to clean a Weber. And the terrible thing is, if you don't keep your Weber clean, these mice, they come and eat the fat. Don't put them on the fat. They come and eat the fat. These mice, you get vermin, 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 vermin. That's right, vermin. Vermin starting to eat the fat on your barbecue. And I've been feeling very, very ill lately. I've been feeling very ill, and I think these little mice are eating the fat. So get rid of these mice now. And the mice problem itself, the best way to get rid of them is a little bit of rat sack. That's right. You need to use some rat sack. And that's a good way to get rid of them. And there we go. We've put some rat sack, and when they come and eat it, when those mice come and eat it, they then get very sick and they die. So rat sack is the answer. And the first thing to do is undo the gas. So we make sure it's closed, and we'll take this bastard out. Oh fuck. There we go, it's coming out. It helps if you unscrew it so, oh shit. Unscrew it the right way. And don't have a smoke in your hand. Don't have a cigarette in your hand when you're doing this. There we go. The gas, it's been removed from the gas tank. And the next thing we want to do is we want to remove the fat tray, the tray fat. Bastard comes out. Here we go. Oh, yuck, it's all gone oily, greasy here. So we get the fat tray out, and this one's gone really bad. It's got fat everywhere, yuck. Okay, so we're going to have to keep that to the side. So let's go and take this barbecue out onto the lawn, and then we can start giving it a clean. And we've just taken the barbecue out onto the concrete here. We've disconnected the gas, and we've also removed the oil tray, the fat tray. So now we're going to give this a bit of a clean. Now you can actually give it a clean firstly by leaving the plate in there, or we can actually remove it. But we'll just have a look here. Let's go and get the hose. Now I like to give the barbecue a bit of a rinse first before we start removing the tray. So I'm just going to give it a bit of a blasting here. Get some of that fat off. And this is also good to give it a pre-rinse before we start using the soap and scourers on here. We just get some of that, just starting to loosen up some of that grime that's on the barbecue.
And be a bit fucking careful when you're spraying the barbecue, because that fucking fat, that shit, that flies everywhere, that shit. That just goes everywhere. It's a real bitch when you get a piece of fat on your clothing there. So just take it carefully, and don't push the lid too much, or else the bastard will tip over. It's an absolute fucker. This barbecue will tip over if you squirt the lid too much. So yeah, just keep working on that grime. You want to give it a pre-rinse. This is before we put some soapy stuff on this shit here. We want to give it a pre-rinse, fuckers. Pre-rinse time. And what we're trying to do is get this fucking fat out here. Now the barbecue itself, let me tell you some barbecue logic. If we let the fat build up there, what can happen is, besides the wife bitching that the barbecue's fucking filthy, it could start a fire where all this fucking excess fat actually causes the barbecue to ignite. So one day you're cooking your steak and all of a sudden the whole fucking thing has gone up. And it can happen. This is what happens, and it can be so hot, it can melt the fucking metal. Believe you me, it's happened to me before. So a bit of barbecue fucking hygiene is important. Ah, the bastard's fallen over. Look at that, the fucking bastard. I told you about this. The fucking bastard, these Weber Qs. And so, you know, you want to give it a nice clean, and we'll give the outside a clean too, get that fat off. Now, fuckers, don't be too pedantic. We don't need to be so fucking pedantic. I mean, indoors wants it absolutely perfect, but We're going to be cooking meat in here again. It's going to get dirty again. It doesn't need to be 100%. It's like General Motors. Near enough is good enough. That's right, fuckers. When you're cleaning a barbecue, near enough is good enough because, believe it or not, some of this fat actually does the barbecue some good. That's right, fuckers. It does it good because it protects the surface. So it's not all bad. Don't ever believe it's bad because the barbecue itself there, the fat, stops the barbecue rusting. And that's a bit of a truth there. So fuckers, that's a bit of advice. Okay, fuckers. Now what we're gonna do now is I've got a bench area. So this is away from where we're hosing the barbecue down. I've got a bench area, and I'm just gonna put get the tray. Triple bag the fat. I'm going to put the fat into 3 supermarket bags, and I'm going to replace the aluminium liner there. So then we're going to bring the liner over, and let's have a look, fuckers. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get some dishwashing liquid, and I'm going to put that into the barbecue, all the fatty areas, and on the tray. I'm going to give it a good coating, and also in the fat tray too. It's got a little bit of oil that's leaked there, and I want to clean this fucker up. I also want to clean the handles, and we'll give the outside a scrub too, so air indoors isn't fucking whinging. So that's what we're going to do. A little bit of dishwashing liquid, give it a bit of a, bit of a squirt there. And what I like to do then is I like to get I've got a special barbecue brush. Actually, before that, sorry. I like to get a bit of hot water. I've got some containers with some hot water in them. I filled the fuckers up. And then I'm using my brush to give the barbecue a bit of a rinse there. So we'll give it the outside a bit of a scrub first as the top. Just get some of that fucking fat off the bastard. Get the fat off and get her indoors stopping whinging. Otherwise, she doesn't know I've done any work. So it's very important politically that I give the bastard a good scrub on the front there, So that's always a good idea there. And you can see me there rinsing it off with the hot water. Nice. I would say it's sort of warmish water. It's not super, super hot. Otherwise, I'd burn my fucking self. But, just be careful there. And fuckers, bit of advice there. If you're going back into the house, make sure you got no fat on your clothes because her indoors will get really fucked off if you put fatty stains all over the furniture. So it might be an idea to wash those clothes or go and cut the lawn and then put those clothes straight into the wash and get those fuckers clean. You can see me there giving it a bit of a rinse there. So we're using the warm water to get rid of the fat and the dishwashing liquid there. Just giving it a bit of a squirt there. Yeah, that looks all really good, Archie. It's looking really, really good. It's looking really, really clean. So there we go. We've given this fucker a really good, this is the soapy suds, and this gives a bit of a hygienic feel too, fuckers. Get the fucking hose out and let's blast this fucker. Let's blast this fucker. And then what I'm going to do is and I can't say this enough, fuckers, heaps of water. Get the hose out again. So now that we've finished scrubbing it with the barbecue cleaning brush, now give the fucker a really good hose because you're nothing worse than having dry, burnt detergent on your barbecue. You got to get this shit off. It's not good for the barbecue. It's not good for the food you're going to put on there. And it's just fucking, you just got to give it a really, really good clean. This is probably the most important squirting right here. You want to get into all the nooks and crannies. See if you can fucking, if the detergent and the fucking scrubbing didn't remove the fat, a bit of fucking pressure from the hose will fucking remove anything. It's really good shit there. And even the lid there, I'm giving it a really good squirt there. You can see me there. It's really pushing into that black grime. And I'm just pushing all the fat out there. It's really, really good. And I'm just cleaning the whole barbecue, giving it a really good squirt. I want all that soapy shit out of my barbecue. I don't want that fucking stuff anywhere near my barbecue. So you got to work this shit into the ground, fuckers. Work it in, work it in, work it in hard, fuckers. Work it in, give it a really good squirt. Get that shit out there. Just keep pushing it. And a bit of barbecue hygiene, it's always a good thing. And her indoors will be off the back. And hopefully those vermin, those rodents will stay out of your barbecue. That's always the biggest danger I see with this is the fucking vermin. So give everything a good clean, fuckers. A really, really good clean. You want to get that fucker clean. This is so important. It's hygiene. And I don't know why they don't teach this in the schools there. You've really got to get your barbecue clean. This is bloke stuff. And I don't know why they don't teach it, fuckers. It's so important. And I can't stress the importance of you giving that fucking barbecue plate a really good clean. This is where your meat is going to lie, fuckers. Most important is the plate. That's the most important thing in the whole barbecue, because this is where your precious steaks, your chops, all your really good shit is going to rest. So I can't stress enough to you. Also, give your scrubber a bit of a hose down too. You want to get the fat out of the nooks and crevices there. A nice pressure hose, that fucking does a wonder. So, I can't stress it enough. The plate hygiene, that is the most important thing on your barbecue. On your Weber-Q is that plate, the grill plate. That is so important, fuckers. That's sort of 90% of barbecue problems relate to plates. So, fuckers, very important. You get every nook of fucking soap and shit off there. Give that fucker a really, really good hose down, a really good clean. And you look after your barbecue, and your barbecue will look after you, fuckers. I can't stress that enough. A good, well-maintained barbecue is what sets, it sorts out the blokes. And we're going to now put the barbecue together. This is very important, fuckers. Stay tuned. We're putting the barbecue together so it's wet, so it's dripping a bit of water in that there. That's fine. So we're just going to continue with that. Nothing wrong there. We're going to replace the new aluminium tray. I mean, if you're a really stingy fucker, you could scrape the fat out of the other one and put it back in. But I don't like to do that. I like to be hygienic. This is the Archie Luxury Channel, fuckers. And if there's a bit of fat there, nothing wrong with using a kitchen cloth, those paper towels, to just wipe up any excess fat there. You've been working it with the hot water and the soap, so it's going to come out a lot easier. Put the aluminium tray back in there, fuckers. It's nice to put it back in there. We've got a nice new one here that you can see, fuckers. So let's try and work out how to put this bastard in. It's a bitch. It's a bitch. Fuck. How does that tray go back in, Archie? How does it go back in? We got it in. That's good, Archie. Now, the next thing we want to do is we're just going to make sure it's turned off. Just give it a bit of a wipe over with a terry towel. That's right, that paper cloth there. Give it a bit of a fucking wipe over there. Yeah, any little smudges, any bit of fat lodge somewhere. Now, we're going to connect the gas up again, fuckers. Very important that we get this barbecue dry. This is the most important part of cleaning a barbecue. You got to start the fire to get rid of any water there, because if we don't turn the barbecue on, what can happen is, because we've removed the grease, which is it's effectively what dishwashing liquid is, we can actually we can cause rust. Now, this is always a bastard to put in. Come on, you little fucking bastard. Come on, you little bastard. Okay, we got the bastard in. Okay, about time. They're just such a prick, these things, aren't they? To unscrew the gas and put the gas back in. They're just such fuckers. Mean, nasty fuckers. That's what they are. They're mean, they're nasty fuckers. So we've got the gas on there. That's great. We're going to pump it all up there. Now, let's do a quick safety check. Safety first, fuckers. Safety first. We got the gas in. Check our lines, make sure there's no fucking leaks, or be very careful. Turn the gas on there. No, the other end's already turned off. And this is the whole thing, fuckers. We want to you can see it's turned off in the corner there. Look at that. So we're turning it on. Now, the first time we start this barbecue, it's not going to work because our igniting system is actually wet. So we're going to have to, one time, we're going to have to use a match to light the barbecue because, the igniter's not going to work, fuckers. It's wet. It's wet. It's barbecue logic. Barbecue logic 101, fuckers. That's what it is. Barbecue logic. So now we've used a match and we're lighting it, and you can see a lot of smoke come out of it, and there's a big flame. That's because it's burning off all that water. See, our gas valves, they're full of water there. So it's very important we do this because we don't want them to corrode or rust. So we're turning the barbecue on, and we're gonna heat this fucker up. We're gonna get this fucker up. We're gonna put it through its paces. And the thing is, fuckers, the reason why I said near enough is good enough for barbecues is because any leftover fat, it'll melt into place there. So it's actually quite a good thing. A bit of fat on the barbecue actually protects the plate from rust and corrosion. So this is very important. Now that we've cleaned the barbecue, you want to get the bastard put onto full bore. You probably want to have it on for about 15 minutes where you take it through its paces, test it, make sure it's got low, high, and medium, and put the fucker through its places. And this is conditioning the barbecue so that it's ready to use when you want to use the barbecue. Very, very important, fuckers, this last step. A lot of girls, they leave off the last step and they wonder why their barbecue rusts. And this is so important, fuckers. I'm Archie Luxury. I hope you've enjoyed my barbecue video, how to clean a Weber-Q. And remember, fuckers, when you own a Weber-Q, you have joined the middle class. That's right, fuckers. Owning a Weber-Q means you are in the middle class. And Chinese copies of the Weber-Q, this video may not necessarily apply to you. So please adapt it to suit your barbecue if you've decided to buy the cheap fucking knockoff from Walmart. I'm Archie Luxury. And this has been Archie Luxury's How to Clean a Weber-Q Barbecue. Thank you, fuckers. See you later.